So carbon fiber is a material that we excessively used on the GTA and M for lightweighting. So the whole front part of the car is carbon fiber. A lot of the carbon fiber you don't even see. The hood, for example, is carbon fiber. The fender are carbon fiber. The whole front fascia is carbon fiber, but it's painted, so it's not really visible. But then there's a lot of exposed parts of carbon fiber, the aero pieces. We also have the wheel arch extension in the back, the rear wing. Those are exposed carbon fiber pieces. We actually like very much working with carbon fiber. It's a material that can almost do anything. But the two differences you need to understand when working with carbon fiber, and you really have to pay attention to in the design phases, what will become aesthetic and therefore will be shown, and what is non-aesthetic. And you can see when you look at a real performance car, even all the way up to Alfa Romeo racing, a Formula One car, a group that we worked hand in hand with and helped us tremendously with the development of these parts. We discovered very much the impact, the aesthetic impact, and the difference between aesthetic carbon fiber and non-aesthetic carbon fiber. So we had to make deliberate choices and made sure that the parts that were exposed really were aesthetic. And what that means is basically you really have to pay attention to the orientation of the carbon fiber weave, for example, whereas when you paint it later, you can't just do it any way you want. So there's really differences in how you have to approach it, but carbon fiber is a wonderful material to work with. So when we designed the Giulia GTA, when we had it in the studio, you can imagine that our walls were filled with reference images of the original GTA. And one thing you can't escape looking at these images were some of these iconic liveries. And what I really liked about them is they had a completely different solution than you saw on maybe other brands at that time, with this kind of dipped nose. And the dipped nose basically was done back in the day to identify the driver. So the car either had a complete nose in white or in light blue or in ochre and this kind of burnt yellow. And that's something we thought was really, really cool. So when the car was done, when the GTA was done, we thought this would be a nice opportunity for our customers, if they so wish, to also apply this kind of historic livery. So while the car in itself is not referring to the GTA with retro design or anything, but just the nameplate, we thought with the liveries, we allow our customers to actually create this nod to history, to actually make that connection to the original GTA and apply some of these really truly iconic liveries.
I'm Fabio Migliavacca. I'm the head of product marketing for Alfa Romeo in the EMEA market. We decided to achieve 540 horsepower because it was enough to our target. It was a power to weight ratio, and so reducing the weight, we had the possibility to reach the performance that we wanted without adding too much power. Also because the idea was to keep the rear-wheel drive. On the GTAm we have a specific aerodynamic package. We have a front splitter that is like on the Quadrifoglio and like on the GTA, an electric actuated splitter, so it could go down over a certain speed, but you can also adjust it in what we call the X direction, so in the front of the car manually, to increase the area and the downforce on the front of the car. In the same way, on the back of the car we have this huge rear wing that is adjustable, so the central part could be inclinated in a different position, adjustable manually from the customer, and we will give some guideline to the customer depending from the circuit where the customer will drive for a track day or something like that, giving the aero setup that is the ideal one for that circuit. We worked on the weight reduction on the GTAm and the GTA, working from every single particular of the car. If you look outside the car, the front fascia of the GTA and the GTAm are totally revised for the aerodynamic needs, but are made also in carbon fiber, so reducing the weight. The pieces of the car has been redesigned. For example, the windscreen of the GTA and GTAm is thinner than the standard Quadrifoglio, reducing the weight. And on the GTAm is really visible the fact that you are removing the rear seats, the rear bench, adding the roll bar, the roll cage with the 6-point harness, and the monocoque seats from Sauber that are reducing the weight compared to the Spark 1. Working with Sauber is a great opportunity for us to have them on board on such a project. So we are involved in the Formula One with Sauber. as you know, but having their knowledge and their experience on the GTA project is an added value. So we worked with them also in Hinwil Windkanal to adjust the aerodynamics on both GTA and GTAm to achieve a better downforce on both cars.